A few weeks ago, I went over to my neighbor's for dinner, and I walked outside to grab a few things, and when I tried to get back in, I couldn't get in, even though the door was unlocked. And he mentioned that he's been having trouble with his front door lock for quite a while, and he's tried to fix it a few times, but it just hasn't worked out. So, I put in a call to my friends at Schlage and asked if we could help him out, and they of course said yes, because they're awesome. So they sent over this beautiful Remsen Handleset in the satin brass finish, so that's what I'm going to install today. But first we got to get this old clunker of a handleset out of here. Removing most handlesets is pretty easy. You usually just have to find the screws and pull them off. On occasion, like this one, you'll have to remove a cover plate which will reveal the screws underneath. In order to do that, sometimes you have to pull the handle off. Usually there's either a release pin or something. In this case, it happens to be a small Allen key that's kind of hidden in the handle. So you can use a small Allen wrench to remove that screw, then pull the handle off, remove the plate, which reveals the screws beneath. Then you can just pull those screws off and the lock assembly will come apart. Now on the bottom of a long handle set like this, there's usually a screw that runs through it. In this case, it actually runs in from the exterior and is capped on the inside. So I can just pull this screw out and get that out of the way as well. And then we'll just pull the latch assembly out and there we go. And now we've got a fresh slate to work with. Now this is probably the most common mistake that I see DIYers make when it comes to installing locks. They don't use the plate that matches the mortise cut in the door. Most of the time new lock sets come with different plates. They come with either a rectangular plate or they come with a rectangular that's kind of rounded on the edges. Now I can't speak for every brand out there, but with Schlage you can just pop off those plates and replace them to match the mortise in the door. Other times you may have to cut the mortise to match. It just depends on the installation. But Schlage makes it easy by giving you both. Now for you haters out there who gave me grief the last time I installed a smart lock, saying that it could be hacked or that what do you do when the battery dies and all that stuff, well guess what? This is considered a mechanical handle set. It doesn't have any smart features at all. It's just a traditional lock and key. So to each his own. Schlage has an extensive variety of different locks and handle sets that you can choose from, so choose the one that you're most comfortable with. And know that you're going to get a quality lock regardless of what you choose. Another nice feature is the ability to adjust the bottom mounting screw location so that if you have a pre-existing hole in your door, you can adjust it and mount it without having to drill a completely new hole in a different location. Now you may have to make the hole that's there a little bit bigger, which is the case here, but you don't have to drill a completely new hole. As you can see in this door, there's already been multiple holes drilled into it, and this lock doesn't fully cover the old lock, but I've already talked to my neighbor about refinishing this door for him once the weather gets nicer, so for now, it'll be fine, but when it gets a little bit warmer, we'll take this door off and give it a nice new finish. So now it's just a matter of putting the inside handle on and getting the screws in place and then attaching the lower mounting screw and tossing the cap over that. Installing the deadbolt is pretty simple. Again, you can pop the cap off and make sure that the plate matches the mortise in the door. Get that installed, slide your deadbolt in, and then get it screwed into place. From there, it's just a matter of checking it, make sure that everything's working properly, and swapping out the strike plates on the opposite side of the door jamb. I like to use some 3-inch screws to go through the jamb. For the deadbolt strike plate, give it extra strength, and these matching satin brass screws come with the Remsen handle set. And lastly, I just like to make sure that everything's working the way that it should. Open the doors a bunch of times, make sure that nothing's sticking or catching or anything like that. Test out the lock with the key and make sure that there's no issues there. And once all that stuff's confirmed, there you go. Is the finish on the door perfect? Nope, but we'll deal with that another time. I want to say a special thanks to Schlage for providing the Remsen handle set that you saw me install today, and encourage you guys to check out their full line of products at schlage.com. Catch you on the next one.